All right. So I'm going to give a minute here, wait to see who's going to pop in this evening and spend some time with me. So as you come in, just drop me a hello. Let me know when you're here. Pop in this evening. That would be wonderful. All right, I see a couple people coming in. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you guys can see me okay. Hopefully it can. I'm getting my phone ready here too, so that just in case we have what I call the trolls, then I'm able to, if you will, boot them, punt them. Okay. Hello, Marilyn. Let's see who we got here. Megan, Kathy, Haley, Danielle. Hey, Dar, how you doing, hon? Gabrielle, nice to see you, my dear. Say hello to Edith for me, too. Hope, Linda. David, nice to see you, David. Nice to see everybody popping in. Happy Friday to you, too, Heather. And Amanda, Danielle. Good. Everything sounds good, and glad you can see me okay. Just want to make sure I'm on Starlinks now, and sometimes it doesn't mind it. Other times, not so much. So welcome, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Paula Hunter, and I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a naturopath, I'm a clinical hypnotist, I'm an aromatherapist. I'm actually doing some spiritual training now as a spiritual coach and what's called spiritual practitioner with something called Science of the Mind. So yeah, I'm learning all sorts of stuff. And of course, tonight I do this every 2 weeks. This is my messages from spirit. And this is an opportunity to have a connection for my guides, or you can ask for a connection for a loved one or even an animal on the other side. So for those of you that might be new, basically as I see your names coming up, as you guys kind of pop in, the guides direct me to certain individuals. So I do my best to answer as many kind of questions or connections as I can. Please don't take it personally if I can't obviously get messages for everybody, but I will definitely do my best to answer as many as I can. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, so don't worry about putting any questions or stuff in the comments right now, because I'll kind of key in and pull you out. One thing I will say, I want to know if there's any connection to a gentleman on the other side by the name of Thomas. When I was grounding, I was hearing the name Thomas. So if there's someone that's in the room right now and you have someone on the other side by the name of Thomas, just drop me a little comment, drop me a message, okay? If that's okay. And hello, hello, hello. Nice to see everyone tonight. I'm just making notes of people's names as I see them come up as well. As I'm doing that, when I ground, I ask the guides to help direct me to those that need the messages the most, right? And sometimes it's for spirit on the other side too. They really need that connection, for us to heal as well, right? And for them to finish the healing that they need to do too. So far, no connection to a Thomas on the other side. And if you hear this after, you can drop me a comment. I'll kind of keep an eye on the comments there as well. Bev, they're actually drawing me to you first. Bev Pearson. They're drawing me to your name first, my dear. So let me know if you would like to ask a question or if you would like a connection. For those that are new, I'm a little bit different than some mediums. Some mediums will read the energy of who's around you. I'm actually a channel first and foremost. And I think as a channel, the guides help me to connect in wherever I need to go. So both when I do my live and when I do private sessions, if there's somebody that you want to connect with, all you have to do is ask. My guides help me to connect in with them wherever they are. Again, provided they're definitely still on the other side there. So I'm waiting for Bev Pearson. Let me know if you're still in here, my dear. because you're the first name that I was drawn to. How's everyone been with the energy? I know last night we had that, it was the lunar eclipse. And I think they said I think it was in the air for about, what did they say, 3 hours? I know I read they said it was the last one that was that amount of time frame was over 600 years ago. So I felt the energy coming in was definitely a little crazy, right? People might have been having headaches and just feeling exhausted, and maybe also just a little bit irritable. So if you were kind of picking that up beginning of the week to just recently, then you kind of know where that's been coming from. The moon plays a big part on how we feel about things, right? Okay, Bev, I see that you'd like to connection. Let me know who you want to connect with, my dear. Mandy, yeah, that's probably why you couldn't sleep last night. And hello, Karina. Hope you're getting lots of practice in, my dear. Karina just got her level 2 a couple of weeks ago from me, level 2 Reiki. Yay. Awesome modality. Hello, Nancy. Yeah, Vanessa, it's been a little nutty. Very, very nutty. So right now I'm talking to Bev Pearson. Bev, let me know. Okay, mom, dad, or brother. What's your preference, my dear? Then I can key in right away to where you want to go. Okay. As I'm saying that, I'm already getting a connection through anyway. So give me one sec here. Okay. Bev, I'm getting more of a mom connection for you. Mom was sick for a time before she passed, eh? Because they show me a ramp. Whenever I get a ramp, it represents illness. And then they show me breathing, stop, which represents the fact that she was in a place that she was ready to go, so that she knew the transition and the direction that things were going in. Usually, I mean, typically that's from the soul perspective, right? Yeah, I see you're saying a yes here. Mom feels like she could be very talkative. You know, I get someone who's very social. I get they show me the kitchen. The kitchen represents someone who likes to cook or bake. So I get the feeling she was a good cook, because it's almost like coming in the house and she'd be trying to feed you all the time, right? Hey, Candy, just freaked out my friend Bev. I just freaked my friend Bev out. She's listening with me. Well, hopefully I didn't freak her out too bad, Candy. And hello, Kitty from Melbourne. Nice to have you jump in. Is this making some sense for you? Yeah, I see your comment. She'd love to talk. I just get her being so social, and just a very loving individual. You know, she cared about people. She didn't like arguing and fighting. She didn't like drama either. She makes me feel like she was always kind of had her hands and trying to keep it. It's like keeping the peace, right? She didn't like people fighting, right? Okay. So you were there with her quite a bit before she passed? And the reason why I'm saying that is what she's saying is, I want to thank you so much for being there for me. And sometimes being there for me can represent I've helped to take care of somebody, or it can just be, you know what, thanks for just being at my side, right? Being with me, coming into that place. Because I almost get the feeling that, not that she didn't have a belief system, but I almost get the feeling like she was a little bit afraid of dying, right? And I think sometimes we all go to those places at one point or another thinking about it. But when I get her transition, I get she went very gently. Okay, one sec. Mom put everybody before herself, huh? Was there a cancer connection to her too? Yeah. And kind of what I get is she was afraid, Bev, because she shows me like people sitting there holding her hand. And just, we didn't have to talk, we didn't have to say anything. It was just being there, right? And she really, really appreciates that. Okay, Bev, I was asking the question because it makes me feel like she always put everybody's needs before her own. And sometimes when we do that, we can tend to hold on to emotion and not always deal with what we need to deal with within ourselves. So typically that represents cancer, it represents heart attack. It could be issues in the lungs as well. That's why I was asking that question. I feel at the end of the day, she was ready to go. What I keep hearing is she was tired. So with the illness that was going on, I feel like she was in it for quite a while. Right? They show me like this roller coaster, which represents obviously having up days and down days. But it was coming to a point. I kind of get the feeling her at the end, it's like her whole system just started shutting down. Right? That make a little bit of sense, Beth? Yeah. She wants to send her love through the lines too. One sec. Is it coming up on a time frame as far as the time she passed or a birthday or something to do with her? Because it makes me feel like there's a celebration of some sort. Hey, Deb girl, nice to see ya. Because it just makes me feel it's almost like thanks for thinking about me, thanks for remembering me, and it just makes me think like there was something coming up to do with her. So either just past or coming up from that perspective. Okay. So yeah, her birthday is the end of this month. Okay. So you guys must still kind of celebrate it. So I don't know if that's you coming together as family or just taking the time to, talk to her. Right. She wants to thank you for that because that's the way that we remember them, right? Is thinking about them and talking about them and sharing the memories and sharing the laughter, right? That's the important stuff. Okay. So she's sending love through the line and she just told me to tell you to stop worrying. So I don't know what it is you're worrying about, but she says like, that's enough. Right. And then I hear like mother, like daughter. So I think she was like that a little bit as well. That help a little bit, Bev? And hello to anyone that I may not have said hello to yet. And again, for those of you that are new that maybe have not been on my lives before, as I see your names come up or your comments or your little happy faces and things like that, I have my little pad and paper here and I take people's names. I ask Spirit to direct me to those that need it the most, right? So it's not that I love one person over the other, nothing like that. It's just coming back to where Spirit dictates, okay? Bev, you are very, very welcome, my dear, right? She's a lovely, lovely lady. And hello, Shelly from Freddie. Nice to see ya. Let's see if that would come up. Oh, I guess not. Let me know if Lynn Rice is still in here. Looking for Lynn Rice. And hello, Connie. Aw, Deb, I'm so sorry to hear about you, Katie. Sorry, Deb. I see your comment when you're saying, let me know if your cat comes to visit you. My familiar, he's passed today. I'm sure he's visiting people. As soon as I read that post, what I heard was, him, he never stayed in one place very long. I just thought that was funny. All right, Lynn, I saw your little message come up. Lynn, let me know if you have a question. And when I talk about questions, that can be what I call your normal psychic stuff, relationships, career, job, pretty much anything, I work with high guides, angelic beings, all sorts of different high level beings that are here to assist. So they'll pretty much answer anything that you may want to know about. So it doesn't just have to be mediumship here. It can also be something you want to know about. Okay. And hello, Connie. Nice to see you. Glad you're catching the lab this time. I thought I'd do a Friday night. I don't usually do Friday nights. But I thought, you know what? With COVID and everything else going on, what else have we got to do? Aw, Deb, I'm sorry, my dear. You're just as psychic as I am. You do this work regularly too. Well, maybe not as regular as you used to back in the day, but he'll come to you. So, hello, Peggy. Nice to see ya. Bonnie, you're just making a little comment about keep seeing something when you look, but it's only a quick second. You know, the we refer to it as the veil, and it was the veil between this world and the next. And the veil is no longer there. So from an energy perspective, so many people are what I call waking up. Their spidey senses are amplifying, they're expanding, they're growing. So there's a lot of people that are starting to pick up that. And usually what happens is we pick up the easiest in our peripheral. Let me move my face over here, get the right one. So it's almost like something moves here and you do one of these and you don't see it. Right. So it doesn't always have to be someone you know. Sometimes it's just a case of being, picking up on the spirit. Right. That's all it is sometimes. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, me and Deb go back. Geez, I think when I was in early 20s, one of the first online chat sites or online psychic video chat sites, I met Deb there. And so we've known each other for a number of years. So, okay, Lynn, give me just a second here. Love to hear from my father-in-law. So give me a second here. It's funny because as soon as I read your question, Lynn, or your comment as far as who you wanted to connect with, I heard laughter. So it makes me feel like your father-in-law was a ton of fun, right? I get a lot of laughter around him. That being said, I also wouldn't want to piss him off. And what I mean by that is if he was going to hold a grudge, he'd hold a grudge. So he could be extremely stubborn at times, very genuine, would help anyone out. But if you screwed him, right, you didn't get the second chance to do it again. Right. Okay. Did he have some breathing issues prior to passing as well? Because I get a real heaviness in the chest. Suzanne, I hope your hand's healing well. And hang on, guys, because I'm making notes for of names, and I'll get to as many names as I can. Let's see. Catching up. I got to reach the bottom here. Connie, hang on, because I actually see they already directed me to you. I have you on my list, so just hang on there, okay? I'm trying to reach the bottom. There we go. There's Lynn's. Okay. So I see. Oh my God, exactly. So I take it the personality is what we're referring to as far as what I was referring to. Like I said, a sense of humor. I get this social person. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't mind having a drink or so every now and then, because I see when I see him, I get this laughter, I get a beer in my hand, being very social, just enjoying my life. But then, like I said, I get the heaviness on the chest, and it could be associated back with the heart too. They show me low oxygenated levels in the blood. So I just get the sense of feeling like he was struggling for breath at times. Right? That makes some sense. Suzanne, it's interesting. You're talking about that you'll know in a couple of weeks about your wrist. The wrap's coming off tomorrow. I kind of get the feeling lots of people are doing some healing for you anyway. They show me people sending you energy, people sending you Reiki and stuff. Yeah. Lynn, I see your comment. Hope, hang in there too, because I actually have you on my list actually after Lynn. So give me a minute, okay? I see your comment about him dying from cancer. Don't mind me, guys, if I get quiet for a minute. It's just because I'm receiving information at the same time. Because when I get that comment from you, what I get is, that was the reason why his body was shutting down. But it makes me feel like there was something else at the end that he actually passed from, even though the cancer was the big contributor to his passing at the end of the day. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Sorry, don't mind me laughing. Lynn, has your partner been a little bit more, what's the word I want? Serious, a little too serious lately? Do you understand what I mean? And I'm saying that because your father-in-law is saying, would you just tell him to stop and smile. And it just makes me feel like he's been a little bit too serious and needing to find a balance between work and play. Okay, Lynn. Yeah. And that's what I was getting about the breathing, because he's saying cancer was killing me. He says, but it was something else. It's still kind of one and the same at the end of the day, but the breathing factor was really huge for him. Um, it's almost like he's trying to get his son to laugh, right? So if his son has just been a little bit too serious, he's like telling him, remember, life's too short. You know, you need to stop and smell the roses too. You need to stop and take care of yourself too. It isn't all about the money at the end of the day, right? So to me, that tells me that he could be a really hard worker. That makes sense. Hello, Melinda. Nice to see you, my dear. He's okay. I just kind of feel like he left a little bit earlier in life than what he expected. Right? He had the expectation of being around because he, since, again, very family oriented, right? He's very family oriented. Family was number one for him. So Lynn, I see your comment about he is. I mean, pass that on to him, onto his son, that he's just getting a little bit too serious right now. Right? And I see your comment back again about him passing a little bit earlier on. Yeah. So did that help a little bit, Lynn? He's fine. If anything, he's not in pain anymore, because they show me somebody putting on a brave face. And he shows me, like, I mean, yes, with cancer, weight loss and stuff too, but he shows me a very quick deterioration in his body. So at the end of the day, it's, you know what, they're not that they're happy to be on the other side, but it's like, you know what, they don't have pain anymore. They're at peace. They don't have to deal with all the crap and the bullshit anymore. Right? So he's funny. I think he could have had some colorful language too. That help? Awesome. So Hope Lynn, I know you posted just a little bit ago. If you want to repost, and again, guys, when you guys are posting your questions, when I call on you, I ask that it's one question or one connection. That way, I can try and get to more individuals. If the guides make a decision to have me stay with someone for a minute, it's their show. Okay, I'm just kind of the go between. This is why we use the term channel, right? Tara Lee, I see your daughter. You're saying your daughter just woke up with a night terror, saying someone was in a room. I don't know how old she is, but kids are so perceptive, right? One of the things that I used to do, one of my nieces used to wake up and she was saying that there was a woman that was sitting at the side of her bed. She used to call her Snow White just because that was something that she could understand and articulate, right? So one of the things you can tell your little girl is just, you know what? Call on your angels, right? Because the angels are very powerful, and to have them come down and say, stand at the end of your bed and protect you. Archangel Michael, one of the best, right? He'll come down with the sword. He is a protector and he'll be there. And so tell your daughter that, right? A lot of times with kids too, and if there's what we call portals, which is our energy doorways, they're found usually in the closets or in doorways. And that's why a lot of kids will talk about having monsters in their closet, right? It's because there's actually a subway system where things are coming in and out all the time, right? And hello to anyone I haven't said hello to. I'm just waiting to see if Hope Lynn is going to post again. And then I have Connie O'Haron after her, okay? Hope, let me know who you want to connect with, my dear. Okay, I see you there now. Grandfather. So give me a minute here. So you've got two on the other side, huh? Because actually the first thing I kind of get the feeling of going in the direction of this one here, but all of a sudden I hear, which one, right? I just thought that was kind of funny. The grandfather I am connecting in with, this wouldn't have been his cup of tea. So it kind of tells me that he didn't necessarily have a belief in this type of stuff, right? He feels old school. So I get the sense of it's black or it's white, very hard worker. They show me the hands being weathered. And to me, that represents someone who's a very hard worker. And I always use the term jack of all trades, master of none. And what I mean by that is if something had to be done, he was the one to get up and do it, right? He didn't shirk off any duties. He didn't have a problem getting his hands dirty. He did the things that he needed to do for himself and for his family, right? Again, strong family. Okay. Strong family tie. And he was also extremely stubborn. Is this on dad's side for you, Hope? I'm just curious. Because you're going to get the feeling your dad's kind of stubborn too. And I know some of you are posting up, asking questions and stuff. For those of you that are new and haven't been on my lives before, Spirit dictates me and directs me to certain names. So as I see your names coming in the comments, they kind of flag them for me, and I make a note of those names. Okay. And those are the ones I'll call to ask a question or have a connection. Okay. So please don't take it personally if I'm not able to connect or, make a connection for you today. You know what? If you, watching tonight and you think it's something that you would like to have, I'd be more than happy to set up a private session. This is what I do full time. I'll actually put my little crawler up there too. This is what I do full time, so I'd be more than happy to set you up with a private session. You don't need to be in front of me. I do a lot of Zoom sessions. I have had some clients recently from like Switzerland actually and Germany, and I'm kind of getting all over the place. So yeah, there's no difference in the quality of this session. So if you need something, reach out. I can set you up an appointment, or you can go through my website there and book in yourself as well. Okay. So bear with me here. I see, Hope, you're saying he was extremely stubborn. Yeah. And I was asking, I wasn't sure whether that was on dad's side or not. Hope, I see your comment when you said that you were in an accident not long ago and you feel like he was there for you. I get him it's funny because I get this very serious person. But when it came to his grandkids, when playing around, I really get a sense of, he was a hands-on. I get a lot more laughter from that perspective, right? And so when you're kind of, okay, sorry, don't mind me, they're talking at the same time. When you're asking the question about him being there, I don't feel he was the only one there, right? Okay. You almost walked away. They show me just like having, if you will, bruises and scratches. Right. There was a female there too, and I think it's a grandmother. So I don't know whether that's his partner or somebody else, but there's a grandmother, could be grandmother or great grandmother. She feels like she's a little shorter in stature, and she would have been very vocal. So she didn't have a problem speaking her mind at all. So there was more than him there at that time. And as strange as it may sound too, they say there was an angelic intervention too. So there was higher beings that were there to assist you with that situation as well, right? Excuse me, guys. Get my water open here. Hope you're another one who's been a little bit too serious lately, because what I heard was chin up, and then he says, tell her to quit taking things so seriously. So it makes me think sometimes, Hope, that you get a little bit in your head where you can stress yourself out. I get the sense of being, what if, right? And yeah, I see that you're saying it was a very serious accident, and you said you should have been dead or hurt worse than what you were. Yeah, and that's what they're saying is it's almost like people looking, if you will, looking at the vehicle and how destroyed it was and going, oh my God, I can't believe that she is, basically still here, same type of thing. So it shows me that vehicle was, I get crushed pretty good, right? So yes, you had quite a few in your corner at that time that was helping you with that process, right? That help a little bit, Hope? And Eric, I see you've asked a question there. I want to answer that because I find that very, very interesting, what you're asking. And I can maybe answer that a little bit for you. That help a little bit, Hope? The other comment I'm getting for you too, and this I think is coming from the guides a little bit as well. I see your comment how you're saying about a little bit overthinking things. Um, it's time to step into, who you are. And I know that may sound kind of vague, but it gives me the feelings that you've always been doing everything for everybody else. And it's having the courage to put one foot in front of the other, even though you don't know where that's kind of going to take you, but to trust with that. So when we talk about that sense of always overthinking things, take a step back, and this is for everyone. Remember that we are the creators of our life, right? When we look at the universal laws, the power to manifest is only one aspect of the many laws that are there. And it's so important to get our heads, if you will, in the game and in the right place so we can bring in and draw in what we really want at the end of the day. Okay. Yeah, you are very, very welcome, Hope. And just know you still got them around you quite regularly. He's also around a young boy, so I don't know if you have a son or whether it's a nephew. It makes me feel like there's a child there for you, but he seems to be around him quite a bit too. Okay, my dear? Eric, I'm going to jump to your question really, really quick. And then I've got Connie O'Hara, if she's still here. Eric, you were saying that there's basically something that you always wanted to ask. And you said, how people say your mom's always with you? Well, I'm a triplet. Is she always with us at the same time? Or is she with whoever needs her more? You know what? The answer to that may change depending on who you're asking. My belief is, and what I've picked up from connecting with spirit is, it's still a singular source, if you will. So it's not like someone being omnipresent where they can be in more than one place at the same time. What I get is they're with the individual that needs them the most, but it doesn't mean that they don't kind of visit. Right. So they can be over here and then, oh, this person needs me, or maybe you're thinking about them, they're going to be over there. So it's not like they're hanging out 24/7 because they'll spend time on the other side too. But when they recognize that we are, in an emotional state or that we are, having a challenging time, they will typically step forward to be there for us to help us through that process. So I just wanted to answer that for you real quick. I hope that's kind of made some sense to you. And hello to everyone that I may not have said hello to. Let me see. Hey, Amanda, I see you're saying getting signs I need to see. You know what? Reach out. Be more than happy to. I got a few openings for next week right now. So yeah, just let me know. More than happy to help you out, my dear. Let me see. Okay. So no, I just see your comment there, Hope, about having a son, and I was asking you about that. He's around your son quite a bit. And it makes me think that your son is almost like a no fear type of person. He'll jump in with both feet into anything. And so the old saying about leaping before you look, it's usually the other way around, but very tactile, very hands-on, very much about the experience. So just know your grandfather's just around him too, trying to help him to find a little bit of a balance to go to his head a little bit and think a little bit too, rather than just jump into things. Okay, my dear? And hello. Nice to see so many people jumping in tonight. Very, very happy. Okay, Connie, I see you've got a couple questions there. I'll answer one question, my dear. So let me know which one is the most important for you. If you find that you have other questions, I'd be more than happy to book a private session with you, okay? When I do my lives, I try and do just the one question unless spirit dictates me that they want to bring something else through for the individual, okay? So I see you were asking about connecting with your dad. You want to know if you're on the right path. You want to know about your kiddos. You want to know about home. You want guidance from your mom, so a lot of stuff there. So is it your dad that you want to connect with for the most part? I just want to make sure. Hello, Darlene. Nice to see you, my dear. And I will see you next week. Got a one-on-one with you next week. Okay. So bear with me here. This wouldn't have been Dad's cup of tea either. I get. Give me just a second here. And I know you brought up your mom with the other comment as well. I feel like they had a really close relationship too, because he always seems to be worried about her. He kind of makes me feel like an old, I don't say an old mother hen. I mean, obviously he's not a hen, but um, just that sense of, it's like, what can I do for you? And I really feel that he spends a lot of time on this side around her because your mom still feels very much about her routine. Do you understand what I mean by that? It's kind of like, if we've been with someone for so long, we sleep in the bed. I sleep on this side, this other side is still open. When I eat, I always ate here, and my husband ate on the other side. So they show me her being kind of a creature of habit. And then he's showing me that, say if she's sleeping on the one side, he's with her, sleeping on the other side. If she's eating her meal, he's sitting across from her. Do you kind of understand what I mean by that? It just shows me that, being very, very, very much still on this side to be around her. So it tells me she was his number one. Right? Okay. And that's probably why he's around her so much, especially if mom has had a diagnosis as well, because he seems more worried around her. He seems, even now, right? Where I don't want to say he's waiting for her, but that's pretty much what he's doing. He's like, I'm not moving forward. I'm not doing anything over there until I have her at my side. Right. So that isn't saying she's going to pass tomorrow or anything like that. I want to make that very clear. But what he's telling me, what the guides are saying is your mom's getting tired. Right. And because they had such a strong relationship, right? It's been tough on her too. And she's kind of like, you know what? I've done the things I needed to do. So there's a part of her that's almost getting ready to, prepared to what I use the term return home. The guides have always used or referred to death as returning home. And what they said to me is, how can it be anything but blissful when we return home? Makes sense a little bit? And what I hear for you, again, stop worrying. This seems to be the theme for this evening. People worrying. We need to stop doing that. So Connie, yeah, exactly our conversation together last night. Yeah. And that's pretty much, what's happening right now. Right. And I think sometimes when we recognize that someone is ready, not that it's ever easy to say goodbye to a loved one, but I think it makes it a little bit easier on our hearts when we recognize that the person is ready to go and is ready to be back with the person they not that they love the most, but he was her rock. I mean, they had been together since they were young. They show me like teenage times. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit younger, right? And he's showing me like, he dote on her. I think she was pretty good at bickering at him sometimes. She didn't have a problem holding her own, right? Because he's kind of joking. He says she didn't have a problem putting me in my place when I needed it. Right? Yeah. So he wants you to know that your mom's not alone, because for some reason it almost makes me feel like you're worried about your mom being alone. Okay. And that can be from the physical standpoint, or that can also represent when someone is in ill health. We're worried, that maybe they'll pass, nobody being there. But he wants to make it very clear that she is not alone. Is this helping a little bit for you, Connie? Yeah, Tanya, I see your comment. It's saying to Connie, it's the most beautiful thing. You know what? If only we could all pass that way, right? Just having that strong love connection. I mean, there's always somebody there to greet us. Always, always, always. But there's such a strong love there, right? So please stop worrying. I know it's easier said than done, but know that your mom's being watched over. And when it is her time, your father will be the first one there with his hand reached out for her to help escort her, and just know that the hearts are reunited again, right? They're back together, and that's the most important thing, because what he says to me, he says, I've raised my kids and I've raised them well, right? So it gives me that sense of he knows that you guys will be okay. And I hear you guys, so obviously you have siblings as well. He knows that you're going to be okay, right? It's never easy to say goodbye, but we can also count the blessings to go, I'm happy that they're together, and I know that they're together. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Very religious couple indeed. Yeah, there's a lot of love there. Hello, Tori, my dear. Hello, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. Miss you lots. Tori's my niece. So let me see. And thank you for letting me bring your dad forward for you, Connie. And yeah, like I said, stop stressing. Easier said than done, but stop stressing. You're very, very welcome. Let's see. I don't know if Katie Hobie's still in here or not. Let me know if you're still in here. And for those that may have popped in that I haven't said hello to, hello, and welcome. I tend to do my little live readings every 2 weeks. You know what? This is what I do full time. This is what I do as a living. So this is my way of giving back to all of you guys, right? I mean, we're living in a world that is a little crazy right now, and it's really nice to have a pick-me-up sometimes, right? And help us to remember that we are important, right? So this is my way of giving back. If you're really looking to connect with someone tonight, or you have some things going on in your life that you want some direction, if you look at the bottom there, it's got my website and things like that. Be more than happy to set you up with a private session. And I do email questions too. So what I do with those is I just basically, you send me your question and I record it. I actually record it off and then send you the MP3. It makes it a lot easier. You can sit and listen to it rather than having to type things out. So I'm just waiting to see. So I'm not sure if Katie's still around here or not. Is Nanette Giddens still in here? Nanette Giddens. Hello, Jen. Nice to see you, my dear. Nice to see some of my, well, I should say some of my clients. A lot of my clients popping in saying hello and joining me for an evening, knowing that we can't all get together yet. Hopefully, next year, this time we'll be in a totally different place and we can, be able to move around and connect a little bit more. So I was looking for if Nanette Giddens is still in here. Let me know, my dear. And again, guys, I know some of you guys are posting questions up. I pay attention to my guides. They direct me to certain individuals, and those are the ones that I connect with, okay? So please don't take it personally. Deb, come on down, girlie. Yeah, I can't do that at the moment. Maybe one of these days. We'll have to do that. We'll have to get together. Deb, we've always talked about that over this. God, we've known each other for a number of years. Be dating myself. It must be at least 15 years now. And we've never met. Okay. Nanette, do you have a preference? I see you're asking about mom, dad, or sister. Let me know if you have a preference. 2005. Yeah, it's been that long, has it? So that's been more than that. Yeah, 15. Just over 15. Pretty close. Can Nanette, I see you lost the sound. Can the rest of you guys hear me or not? Just let me know. You guys can hear me? Let me know. Because Nanette, can you hear me now? Or okay, I see everyone else is saying yes. Nanette's saying she was having issues hearing me. So Nanette, let me know whether you can hear me now or not. And Gabriel, hang in there because they're directing me to you after Nanette, okay? Deb, you're funny. Deb says, even if there wasn't any sound, I can still hear you. It's that psychic thing, isn't it? See, Deb, you'll have to maybe sometime come live with me and we can tag team. Get you out front and center too. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so Nanette, you were talking about mom, dad, or sister. Do you have any preference on who it is you would like to connect with? And the reason why I asked that is, like I said, I'm a little different than a lot of mediums. As a channel, first and foremost, if there's somebody specific that you want to connect with, my guides help me to connect in with them. Yeah, I love that fact. It's really kind of nice. Okay, I see that you're asking for mom. So give me just a second here, okay? Did mom leave fairly abruptly, Nanette? Because they show me a ramp and it makes me feel like there was illness, but then they show me a quick go. So there could have been some health concerns going on there, but it makes me feel like she's, there was some other factor there too, if that makes any sense. Because it's almost like the sense like I'm not supposed to be over here. So that abrupt passing. So when you say not really, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Meaning she was ill? And as I said, I feel like there was illness there. So, because they give me the ramp, and then they give me a quick downturn. So that can mean that she passed very quickly at the end. Her energy is kind of a little bit all over the place too. How do I put that? I almost feel a fear with her passing as well. Right? I get this sense of fear. So I see your comment about her being in the hospital. But I really get a sense she didn't want to be there. Is this making some sense? Because I almost get this sense of shock and surprise about being on the other side. So I don't know whether in her head she thought she was going to get better or not. But it's like things aren't the way she expected them to be. Things didn't turn out the way that she wanted them to. I'm not sure if this is making sense to you or not. And you're a bit of a worrier too, huh, Nanette? Are you still there, Nanette? I know there's a bit of a lag. I just want to make sure that you have the opportunity. I know sometimes people get booted out when I'm passing messages on. That's happened before too. And hello to anyone I may not have said hello to yet. Okay, there you go. Maybe that's what they're saying. So you're saying that the doctors didn't really know what was going on, because I get the sense of shock and I get this, it's like, no, I'm not supposed to be over here. And that doesn't mean she's not at peace. Okay. I just want to make that very clear. But I get this sense of her just being in shock. It's like, no, I'm supposed to get better. I'm supposed to leave here. I'm not supposed to be, on the other side. And, as I say that, that's kind of from what I call the human perspective. The soul itself always knows when we are going to depart. The soul makes that decision and choice at the end of the day. But I just get this sense of shock. So, and again, I feel like things going on, but still that quick downturn for her. Right? Now, was there something specific you were looking for from her, Nanette? Or just kind of checking in? And it's interesting because I still think at the end of the day, they really don't know what all was happening. But again, the case of system shutting down, it's almost like she was going, what is it, septic, if that makes some sense. Because again, they just go shut down, like everything was shutting down. And then they show me that sense of breathing stop. So she was probably out before she actually transitioned as well. Yeah. She'll be okay. I feel, I mean, I don't know how long she's been passed because time is irrelative over there. But they show me she's still doing some healing. So it just tells me that she hasn't quite done all the work that she needed to do. And if we're in a sense of resistance, I think of that crossing, that can be part of it as well. Again, this doesn't mean she's in limbo. Doesn't mean she's stuck. I mean, it's nothing like that. It's just that she still has to do some work. So what the guides have said to me is, excuse me, when we pass, we always have a loved one that helps to escort us to the other side. We go through what we call life review. So we look at our life, look at the good things and the bad things that we did. And then for me, they've always referred to the stages called cocooning. And cocooning represents the fact we're surrounded by high-level guides that help us to do the healing that we need to do from that lifetime. And then from there, we go into what I call general public. So she shows me still being, or the guides do as well, with her still being in this healing process. So she still has a little bit of work to do. But there will be a sense of, when we talk about being reunited, she's got a bit of work to do first. Okay. But then she will. So it just makes me feel like, I don't think she always dealt with emotion very well either. I get the sense of bearing things at times. So if you were to ask her if she's okay, she would tell you she was okay, even if she wasn't. That make a little bit of sense for you? So she'll be in connected with your dad and sister. She just needs a bit more time to heal first. And then she'll be free in what I call general public. And when I talk about general public, that gives them the freedom to come and go, right? They have more opportunities to do so. Usually when they're healing state, and for a lot of people, and this is what I tell them too, if you're trying to, it's like, hey, my mom passed and I haven't really had a lot of messages, or I haven't seen her, or, things like this. And when they're in this stage, they don't have as much freedom to come and go. If that makes sense, right? They got to do their work first, and then they have more freedom. Okay. So I hope that's helped a little bit for you, Nanette. And thanks for popping in. I kind of get the feeling this wouldn't necessarily be your cup of tea of what you do either. So you might have been just kind of scrolling through and then it's like, oh, let's check this out. So. Yeah, I see your comment about they all pass within 18 months. Very, very sorry. My condolences for your loss. With the energy that we've been stepping into, I mean, COVID's a big part of this. There's a lot of souls that are going, I don't want to be here anymore. And they are leaving very abruptly. Usually it's cancer, heart attacks, suicide, are the three biggest ways where souls were leaving. And it's just at a certain level, deeper part of the soul where they're going, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here through this. So they are departing fairly quickly because of that. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of you can attest to how crazy our world has been, the past 2 years almost now. So that's part of the reason for people leaving as quickly as they have. Okay. And you are very, very welcome, my dear. Gabrielle, are you still here, my dear? I think I saw you post a little while ago. Yeah, Deb, you talk about the energy being whacked. We refer to it as the collective consciousness energy. And I always describe that as kind of being like a lake. And everybody's emotions are going into it. So when we talk about someone's emotions going in, if everyone's happy and joyful, you know what, it's awesome. But especially when COVID hit, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of anger, depression, all these emotions. And people that are sensitive, I make the joke, it's almost like drinking the Kool-Aid. So we're dipping in, we're getting this water, we're drinking it in. So being sensitive, we pull all that energy from what we call the collective consciousness into our physical frames. And especially when COVID hit, it was causing a lot of issues for sensitive people: heart palpitations, headaches, pain through their body, issues sleeping, all these things, right? And this is part of the reason for it, right? And especially with the veil not being there, so many people are much more sensitive than they ever were. Some people have a sense of awareness of it, other people don't. It's like, what's wrong with me? All of a sudden I'm getting panic attacks, or I'm getting headaches, and wanting to go to the doctors, for those that can get into the doctors, right? And doctors won't be able to find anything that's wrong, right? And Suzanne, I see you agreeing with that too. Depression's been rampant, and it's so important that the best things that we can do as being sensitive is one, grounding, right? Energy comes in through the top of our head, goes down our spine, and unless we ground it back to the ground, it is no, it's you, Gabriel. Not a problem. Give me just 1 second. Unless we ground it down, it actually can spark off. So you think about electricity that comes into a house. They stabilize it by having a ground wire, and that ground wire keeps it from sparking out, right? Well, we're very similar. So people that are sensitive, if we're bringing that energy in, it's got nowhere to go. And that's why we have all this, the vibrations, right? So grounding is especially important. I make the joke about, I'm a tree, right? I can visualize, because our imagination is one of the greatest tools that we have. And I'm going to use that imagination. I'm going to think that I'm a tree, and I'm going to imagine these tree roots going from my feet into the ground. That's why we call it grounding, right? Walking out barefoot, doing gardening. There's so many different ways, and you guys can research that. So if you find that you've had these types of things going on, research it, try out different techniques and see what works the best for you. The other one is protection, right? Being aware of the energy that you're in, the energy that, surrounds you. And if it isn't a positive energy, you got to ask yourself some questions saying, is this really where I need to be? And if it isn't, hey, I can clear my space. What can I do to protect myself, right? Going for a walk in nature is also another one. Very clearing, very grounding. Okay. So yes, Gabrielle, give me just 1 sec. I know your mom's on the other side, Gabriel. Did your mom pass I don't know whether it was December, January time frame or not. Again, I just get the feeling that there is, again, another anniversary coming up for her, but I don't get it right away. It feels more like in the next 2 to 3 months. And I don't know whether that was a birthday or that was an anniversary of her passing. Right? Gabrielle, was it your mom? Excuse me. Was it your mom you wanted to talk to? January. Okay. Thank you. It made me feel like it was after Christmas as far as the passing. And I don't know if it was your mom that you wanted to connect with or not, but as soon as I kind of, basically they had me go back and see if you were still here. Okay. She's just basically telling me that you haven't been happy. She doesn't want to see you unhappy. Do you understand this? And I didn't know, this is why I asked when she passed, because I didn't know whether it was because of the time frame of her passing that was coming up. That was, she just told me that you've been feeling sad. Right? She so doesn't want you to be sad, my dear. And I know it's easier said than done. But what she's telling me is you've been feeling so alone lately. And we can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Right? Okay. Gabrielle, was your mom not really able to get around so much? Okay. And I totally get it when you talk about the holidays being hard. I think that that's, very similar for a lot of people when we talk about loss, especially a more recent loss. Your mom's pretty strong on the other side, I'll tell you that. Right? She definitely wanted to, step forward. And the reason why I asked about whether she, didn't have mobility issues so much is because a comment she made to me, she goes, tell her I don't want her to sit, if you will, sit alone and watch the world go by. And then I heard, like, I did. right? Um, and I don't necessarily get that she just sat and didn't do anything, but it makes me feel like sometimes she didn't force herself out of her comfort zone. Hoping you understand what I mean by that. Hey, Deb, take care, girl. Is that helping a little bit? Yeah. Because, like I said, the comment is she doesn't want you sitting and watching the world go by. So that tells me at some level that you're also holding yourself back. And what I keep hearing is you'll look at something and then it's kind of like, no, I can't do that. You know, you get in your head. They show me the symbol of like a hamster in a wheel, and that represents going around in circles. Right? Okay. It makes me feel like you're sitting with a decision here pretty quick. And it makes me feel like whatever this decision is taking you out of your comfort zone. Because I get this back and forth, yes, no, do I, don't I, do I, don't I, this type of thing. Has there been something on your mind that you've been thinking about doing, but you're kind of fearful about? Okay. I know, I see you saying not really. Keep an eye over the next couple months because I feel like there's going to be an opportunity. There's going to be something that's going to step up and it's going to involve you making some decisions there. So it tells me at times you can get in your comfort zone too. Right? But your mom wants you to know that she's around quite a bit. Did your mom really like Christmas too? And I don't know whether you have some of her Christmas decorations or not, but it makes me feel like she really liked Christmas because I see like these really special types of decorations, I guess you can say. Yeah. So as I said, I don't know if you have some of her decorations or not, but it makes me feel like some really beautiful pieces she had. You know, it's not like your typical here's a ball, let's put it on a tree. I just get some she'd had for a number of years, so she almost collected. So I don't know if she just collected angels or what, but she kind of shows me I get the feeling that you have some of those decorations. So it's, you know, when you're putting up your tree and when you're decorating your space, you know, think about her, invite her in. And as I say that, how do I put it? I'm not sure how long she's been passed again, but it's almost like I don't know if you didn't do as much last year or not, but it's like she's saying she wants to see it, your place all decorated up. You know what I mean? Reminding you of you know how much she enjoyed Christmas, and it's a celebration. And I know it's hard to celebrate when our loved ones aren't here, but she wants you to kind of put those things up and think about her, right? Knowing she's going to be with you. Okay. I didn't think that she had been passed too very long. So it made me think like what she was showing me was like 2020, just, you know, I got a few decorations up, not, you know, I didn't go to town, if you will. And then she showed me this year, she showed me this beautiful tree and all these beautiful decorations. And it makes me feel like there are some that are hers and putting them up and really celebrating in memory of her. And remembering how much she loved Christmas because it was about family. It was when family came together, right? Okay. Hopefully that helped a little bit. She wanted to jump in. Did that help a little bit? And you know, maybe that's why she's saying it. I see her comment about, I think about it all the time. I don't plan on a tree, but I will see. And that's what she's showing me is a Christmas tree. And these lights on it and you know, just these beautiful, it's just filled with decorations. So if you hadn't been thinking about it, look at it this way. I think it's your mom's way of asking you to do that. It doesn't mean it has to be a huge, humongous tree, but she wants to be able to share that with you. Okay? I mean, at the end of the day, you can make your own decision. But I think that's why she all of a sudden brought me to Christmas and the Christmas tree and decorations and things like that. It's important. She'd like you to do that because it's about the spirit of what that represents, right? Which is, it's family, it's love, it's coming together. Okay. So at least take that message with you and you can make a decision, moving forward on what you want to do with that. But she's asking you about that. Okay. Yep. You're welcome, Tanya. So you got to run. And actually, guys, this is it for me as well. I've got a full day of sessions with clients tomorrow. I usually pop on for an hour or so. If you're looking when I go live again, you can, like and follow my Facebook page there. I always post when I'm going live. And you can also check out my website, paulahunter.ca. And I always have it scheduled when I'm going to go live there as well. Okay. I want to thank everyone for, coming and spend some time with me tonight. I definitely really appreciate that. And, yeah, so my next one, I don't know if I have my calendar. Give me a second here. I can see if I do. I probably do. But I can let you know anyway. Let me see. 8. So I have, it looks like December 1st at 8 p.m. is my next one. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you really want to connect with someone on the other side, or you've got some pressing questions about things going on in your life, you know what? Drop me a line. I'd be more than happy to set you up with a private session. Again, follow my Facebook page. You can always reach out there. Okay. You guys have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you for allowing me to bring your loved ones through this evening. And I look forward to connecting with everyone again. Okay. Bye. Have a good evening, everyone. And